Topsy-Turvy Takedown Tuesday. Just thought about adding topsy-turvy in there somewhere. I don't know why. Welcome into the program, Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics. The 10 count is on 8 minutes after the top of the 9 o'clock hour, the Eastern Time Zone. Live from Studio 1, the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Lane behind the control panel. Thank you to everybody listening in through BeyondRingside.com, as well as the Beyond Ringside radio app, as well as through Ustream, Winamp, Shoutcast, a number of different standalone apps that the links are over on BeyondRingside.com, as well as, of course, like I said, the BR radio app for Android, Amazon, and BlackBerry, and TuneIn radio app for cross-platform this evening. Going to be lining up with a few other apps as the weeks go by. Don't ask me about Apple. That's a sore subject. It really is. We're trying. That's all I can say. Gonna dive straight into it on this Tuesday night thing. On this 13th day of October, like to welcome in good friend of the family, the Bomber Jack Lohr. Jack, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, brother.
Got a lot of crazy things going on already during the week, and I think the world got turned upside down on two different fronts this morning. One in the Southeastern Conference. Let's go ahead and get that one right into the mix. The legendary Steve Spurrier stepping down as the head coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks. Did it come as a surprise to you?
Well, it has to happen sooner or later. I mean, he's 70 years old, and, he's done his time. He's a heck of a coach. Not my favorite guy, but, he's a heck of a coach. Can't take that from him.
I think there might have been a little bit more to it than meets the eye, because for him to step down this abruptly and this suddenly, there had to have been a compromise struck between him and the AD and the college itself. Because when it comes to Spurrier, he is a very stubborn, it worked out perfect in pro wrestling, wouldn't he? Very headstrong individual, and he has always had that never say die attitude. So, and everybody who knows me knows the fact I bleed Crimson Tide red. And as soon as the Blazers come back, which hopefully that'll be next year, or I will go into the front office of UAB and throw somebody, Ray Watts, off the top of the student center. People think I'm kidding when I say that. I will hire a band of midgets to go throw Ray Watts off the top of the student center. Because I can. But no, but in all seriousness, that's why it's like, after this last loss, after everything has gone so upside down this year, I knew something had happened. Because when I first woke up, I was checking, I always watch the Dan Patrick Show and Sports Center. I flip back and forth. And if I really need a good laugh, I'll turn on Fox News. And that'll be actually the source where I found out the second story of the night. And nothing was being said by any of the three channels that I watch in the mornings. I don't watch CNN in the mornings. I don't like to be depressed. I'm sorry. I get into my car and I turn on JOX 94.5 here in our home market of Central Alabama. And lo and behold, what am I hearing? I'm hearing him doing the full resignation thing, and it's like, wow. Let's go ahead and play hypotheses for a hot second. University buy out his contract and give him a nice little severance package, Jack?
Well, I'm sure they did. Every school has a plan set when they think it's time to make those changes. And a lot of times the coaches are the last ones that want to be in on it. But, it's what it boils down to is college football is still a business. And that's what they're looking at their bottom line. May not agree with it. May not have been his time, but for them it was.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can all come together and sit back and say to Steve Spurrier, we wish you the best in your future endeavors. Scary thought.
I believe he'll be on ESPN before too long.
Oh, yeah. I tell you the truth, and this is something that crossed my mind over the last year when Coach Corso decides to step down. Spurrier would make a great addition for a few years to the college game day lineup on ESPN.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely think that he, with his off-the-cuff commentary, I think that and the man knows football. I mean, former national championship coach. I almost feel bad because there was that one thing that has always eluded him, and now it will have eluded him for his career, and that is an SEC championship in the playoff era.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately, things like that do happen. You said it perfectly. It's like it's going to happen sooner or later. It still strikes me totally nuts, the fact that it happened this quickly. Posted a story on All Fronts earlier today. I keep getting criticized for not posting news stories on BeyondRingside.com. Why? We're a radio show. We don't always have to post news stories. Thank you. We cover them live by voice. And by the way, for everybody listening, if you are near a laptop, desktop, computer, drop on over to BeyondRingside.com. The chat room is open, and I'll be monitoring as the show goes on. Want to let everybody know real quick as we are 15 after the hour. I'm going to be joined by Josh Wheeler from Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment at the top of the hour, which would be the top of the 10 o'clock hour in the Eastern Time Zone, and in the Eastern Time Zone also. At 11 o'clock, slated to be joined by a good friend and tag team partner on Saturday mornings, Shane Noles. Going to come on and let us know all the updates with the Peachstate Wrestling Alliance show set for this Saturday. God, it's a busy weekend. And speaking of busy weekend, you're in the thick of everything this coming Sunday, right?
Oh, yeah. Everything kind of kicks off for us Saturday when we start getting everything set up and lined up. And I'll be at Birmingham at the airport picking up some guys that are flying in. And, we got a big show lined up at Muscie Shoals Sunday, 2 p.m.
Southern Legacy Wrestling at the Northwest-Shoals Community College, located at 800 George Wallace Blvd in Muscie Shoals. For everybody wanting to MapQuest it, or Google Nav, that's a good one, or Siri, Genie, all of the above. Zip code is 35661. You have got an all-star lineup coming in for this show. Now, real quick, I'm going to go ahead and ask because I'm not totally positive. Is this the premier outing for SLW?
Yeah, more or less. I started a smaller version of Southern Legacy a few years back. I didn't stay in business long, not because I wasn't doing good, but my health wasn't good at the time.
Right.
So when Wade Ginn is the promoter, and he promoted years ago. He was the mayor over in Tuscumbia for several years, and he wrestled for Nick Goulis way back in the day. But he used to promote some pretty good shows, went into politics, got out of promotion for a long time. He wanted to come back, and when we were talking about a name, I just brought the name up. I said, I started that, the name, I like the name, the legacy part especially, for what we're trying to do with our part of the business, bring it back to what it used to be. So is it new? Yeah, but it's kind of a Southern Legacy Wrestling Part 2.
Okay, makes perfect sense. Let me know who all of you got coming up on the lineup.
Well, here is our full lineup. We've got Damian Wayne, who is the AIWF World Heavyweight Champion, is going to be facing Shane Marks. Crimson is going to be going against Will Owens. The Rock and Roll Express are going against Hammerjack and Eric Andrews. Michael Steele is going to be facing James Storm. And Jeremiah Plunkett is going to be facing Ken Kennedy.
Also known Ken Anderson, all of the above. Or for those...
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wrote that down wrong. Ken Anderson, you're right.
There you go. No, I mean, a lot of people still know him as Mr. Kennedy or Mr. Ken Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy, all of the above. And...
Right.
When you have, when you have a talent pool that's going to run that deep. Now, you and I spoke late last weekend, and one of the first questions that popped into my head was considering the factor of guess who has just recently signed with NXT and under the banner of WWE. There have been questions coming my way. It's like, you've been talking about Southern Legacy, Eddie. Is James Storm still going to be able to be there? And you gave me the confirmation that yes, because NXT and WWE have been really good about allowing talents to finish up their contractual obligations, right?
Yes, they have. And as a matter of fact, I talked to James last night, and we not only have him confirmed for this Sunday, he's also going to be here next month at our show, November 15th, is when we'll be coming back. So we've got him, two shows in a row. So we're pretty excited about that too, because I mean, come on, the guy is probably the biggest trending guy, in wrestling right now because of the NXT thing. So we're kind of, it's really helping us as far as, getting people to see that we're getting some top guys. I mean, if the guy's good enough, WWE's trying to get him, he's a heck of a talent. Of course, I always thought that anyway. But.
Yeah, same here. I mean, because to me, he was one of the cornerstones of TNA wrestling for the longest time, whether it was part of America's Most Wanted, whether it was beer money, whether it was solo runs centering around the championship. If he's listening, I'm just going to say this in advance. I apologize for what I'm about to say. I haven't been the biggest fan of the Revolution because of the way that it came across on television. But with the character that James Storm puts forth on TV, he does a great job coming across in a very semi-maniacal style of tone. And yeah. I think that if TNA would have packaged that a little bit differently for him, it would have gone over a hell of a lot better. And because it seemed like all of a sudden, yet he's cast into, and this is just me talking, it's almost like the Revolution was his version of the leader of the Revolution is almost a Bray Wyatt style character. And I mean, you can agree, disagree, either one. We always have discussions on this show, but I felt that he could be better than what they were giving him. Mainly because, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. James is kind of a standout guy, and he always has been there. But to be honest, he's not the only one not getting his just dues up there. So I'll just leave it there.
Well, no, there's a lot of people that have, a lot of people have found it funny, and some are just catching up to the fact that how far in advance a lot of the TNA tapings had been done. And coming out of Bound for Glory, you've got a number of people that have jumped over to GFW, which I feel weird in this particular circumstance because you see the press releases put out by Global Force about the number of different people who are coming on board. And I'm sitting back going, yeah, and this is where I'm just going to shoot straight. If it weren't for the fact that TNA's front office does not seem to remember how to do business sometimes, you wouldn't have nearly the departures that you're having. Agree?
Oh, yeah, I totally agree with that.
Now, I'm going to get off that. We'll come back to that a little bit later in the show. But I'm going to sit back and say, now, I know that there's always a little surprise or two around the corner. And I know that you've given everybody a lot of the card that's going to go on. Do you have an exclusive you want to throw our way?
No.
Oh! Shot down that fast. Damn. And I thought we were family.
You just have to be there to see what may be coming up for us. We're really trying to set Southern Legacy apart from everybody else. And, there's some great shows in this state, but we're going to try to be the best. And I think everybody that runs should have that same attitude. That's not to dig at anybody else. But we've got some things up our sleeves. We're not just trying to run a show and pop a big crowd in there. We're wanting to go in and draw a great crowd and keep them coming back month after month. And you can't do that with one-off shows. So we're doing a lot of things that folks are just going to have to be there to see.
Oh, definitely. I agree with that 100%. I mean, look, if it wasn't for the fact that things have gone totally nuts for me in the last couple of days, I was making arrangements to try to be up there this coming Sunday. And I'm definitely looking forward to hearing some great things out of SLW. Now, let me go ahead and take a look at a couple of things that are going on. I want to break a couple of them down. You've got the 8-time NWA World Tag Team Champions coming out this coming Sunday at Northwest-Shoals Community College. Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express. Let me say this. I hate to use the word old school, but because it gets bandied about so much. And in my book, yeah, I'm 49 years of age. Whoop-de-damn to do. I don't call that old. My dad's 84 years old. I don't call him old. Man could probably still outrun half the people I know. I'd put him up against Usain Bolt. Especially if there's a good bowl of chili at the finish line. It's doomed. There will be a record broken. But I will say this. I don't use the term old school. I use the term real school. Because you pigeonhole some things. And to me, when it comes to tag team wrestling, Ricky and Robert are real school. Having worked with them on the last little while and had a chance to hang out with them, talk to them, get to know them a little bit better, you find out that they still both have great heads for the business. They both have a great wrestling mentality, great intellect for pro wrestling. So anytime, and I've said this on more than one occasion, anytime you see Ricky and Robert on a show, it's automatically going to be worth paying the money right there. And you got them going against who this Sunday?
They're going to be facing Eric Andrews and Hammerjack.
Now, that's two more individuals. I haven't had a chance to work with Hammerjack that much, but Eric Andrews, damn, try it again. I've worked with him before. I've interviewed him before. Great kid. He is one of the genuine true up-and-comers in the world of pro wrestling, because this kid, he's overlooked in more ways than I've got active brain cells, but once people get their sights locked onto him, they sit back and realize, damn. But I don't want to say one of the best-kept secrets in pro wrestling, because he has been busting his ass to get out there. He really has. And go ahead.
Here's the thing about Eric and several of these other guys is we didn't just arbitrarily, go through Facebook and start picking names out. Wade and I went for months to shows all over Tennessee, Georgia, Mississippi, looking for real talent. Now, you've got thousands of guys out there that are getting in the ring, but guys who are really talented, who understand what they're doing and why they're doing it, and can wrestle that old school style, those are few and far between. And, when Wade and I could sit there and see guys like Eric and Hammerjack, and we could actually just disengage and enjoy the matches, that's what captured us. That's why we wanted to bring these guys in. Jeremiah Plunkett included in that. I mean, when those guys got in the ring, it was like something changed. I'm a big fan of Damian Wayne. Damian, AIWF, even though it's been around a while, it's still trying to grow, still trying to get his foothold. And that's right. But Damian, when he walked to the ring, we saw him in Blue Ridge, Georgia a few months ago. And when he walked to the ring, I mean, I was envisioning, Ric Flair and Tully Blanchard and, guys who, when they came to the ring, you knew there was going to be something special going on. And so we go out and we look for these talent. We don't hire anybody that we haven't seen in person. We're still traveling. We're still going to shows. We're still trying to find the best of the best so that we can bring them in to an area here in Alabama that's never seen a lot of these guys. So, they are different. Eric Andrews, I'm telling you, the guy, if he doesn't make it all the way, it's a shame and a disgrace to this business. Him and these other guys are just fantastic. And talking about Rock and Roll Express, I'll tell you something about behind the scenes of why I've always liked Ricky and Robert, and I've worked with both of them on different shows in the last few months, is those guys are coming in, and they're not just coming in to collect a check. They're not just coming in, like I said, make that money or have a good time or whatever. They come in, and they spend time in that locker room with the younger talent, and they don't have to. Nobody asks them to do this, but they're going with these guys, and they're teaching them stuff back there in the back. Just holes, psychology, trying to make them better. They're not getting paid for that. They're not, charging those guys anything. They genuinely still care about the wrestling profession, and they're trying to give back to it everywhere they go. And that's why I'm so excited to see them, because they not only give back behind the scenes, they still go out there and perform. When you're seeing Ricky and Robert today, they may be a step or two behind, but they ain't that far behind from what they were in their prime.
I don't even think they're a step or two behind. If you put them with the right people, yeah, they can. It's still nothing with the rock and rolls.
Yeah.
And let me also throw this one out at you. This is another of one of the most visible secrets in the southeastern United States. And I'm referring to Wild Thing Will Owens. I've known this man for years. Great in-ring talent. He is a great hand. Superb on the microphone. I know of nobody who is immune to a Will Owens promo. And that's legit, kids. Whether he is the real deal from Somerville or the hater from Decatur, Will Owens has a very unique personality. Inside the ring, outside the ring, on the microphone, away from the microphone. And I've watched him for years. I've worked with him for years. He is always a pleasure to watch in ring because the way, and this is legit, the way that he can captivate a crowd and get them to ride his roller coaster. And that's the easy way to put it, Jack, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I totally agree there.
And it's just, I've got to sit back and wonder, which has the tendency to run longer? Wild Thing on a tangent or Ted Cruz in a congressional filibuster?
I've got to go with Will Owens.
Now, another couple of people that I do want to talk about real quick. The revelation Shane Marks. Watched him in the early phases of Platinum Championship Wrestling over in Atlanta, Georgia. Watched him with a number of different promotions. Also, just the guy has got, he is one of those who continues to push the bar forward. He is one of the ones who continues to reset the standard. I've watched him in singles, watched him in tags. I've watched him in a number of different styles of matches. This man is one who can definitely go at the drop of the hat. The second that bell rings, Shane Marks is on and on it. Another one, so you'd like to add?
Well, yeah, I just have to agree with you. When we saw Damian Wayne the first time, he was having the title defense against Shane. And I think the only mistake made on that show that night was not the main event. Because I don't see how that match, well, it really wasn't. I mean, there were some good matches after that, but they didn't come up to the standard of what that particular match was. Those guys did everything that a match should do for an audience. You know, entertained them, got them mad, got them happy, got them mad again. I mean, people went through the whole gauntlet of emotions, and it was just a fabulous display of professional wrestling. And that's why we booked that same match to come back, those two guys, because we know what potential they have. Now, they've wrestled once. Round two, I think it's even going to be better.
I think it will, because Damian Wayne, current and reigning AIWF World Heavyweight Champion, Allied Independent Wrestling Federations. Special hello to good friend of the family, Matt Classic. Always a pleasure. And thank you to Matt, who is very cool about putting the current top rankings for the AIWF over on Beyond Ringside's Facebook friends page, facebook.com/Beyond Ringside, and our Facebook fan page, facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live. He's always been really good about that. Whenever they come out with the new rankings or whenever they've got, he's one who has taken me up on the offer. And I'll lay this out there. If you've got something you want to push or get out there, all you have to do, tell me. Put it up there. It's cool. The only time that is ever not offered is if it's a retail site. Unless we work something out. But I'm going to sit back and say this. I've watched Damian, former NWA National Champion, NWA North American Champion, AIWF World Champion. The man has held gold in a number of different organizations for a number of different promotions. A true professional is the best way that I can put it. I've watched him work. I've listened to him on a microphone. This is another gentleman who, in my genuine opinion, and I know I've said this phrase a couple of times tonight, but I'm going to sit back and say this because I mean it yet again. he doesn't get his just due in the world of pro wrestling, because a lot of people are still sitting back going, Damian Wayne, yeah, look him up, because you're not going to be disappointed. You're not going to be disappointed. That's why I'm loving the factor of the show that's coming up this coming Sunday. Bell time is going to be what time?
2 p.m.
Doors open at?
Do what?
What time the doors open?
Oh, doors open at 1.
Tell you what, Jack, can you hang with me for a second? I got to go to the bottom of the hour break.
Sure.
Folks, hang tight. Beyond Ringside Back to Basics returns right after this.
Southern Legacy Wrestling is proud to present their North Alabama debut Sunday, October 18th at 2 p.m. at Northwest-Shoals Community College in Muscie Shoals. 5 big matches, including AIWF World Champion Damian Wayne versus Crimson and Mr. Anderson versus Jeremiah Plunkett, plus Cowboy James Storm, The Rock and Roll Express, Michael Steele, and Haverjack. Tickets are $15 general admission, $20 ringside, and children under 5 are admitted free with the purchase of an adult general admission ticket. Doors open at 1 and bell time is at 2. Get your tickets early so you don't have to miss any of the exciting action. Advanced tickets are available at Dynamic Fitness in Tuscumbia and Decatur, Unlimited Fitness in Muscle Shoals, Extreme Fitness in Killen, and Pegasus Records in Florence. Don't miss all of the action Sunday, October 18th at Northwest-Shoals Community College. For more information, visit www.slwwrestling.com. Southern Legacy Wrestling, where tradition lives.
This is Merciless Ray Mercer, Olympic gold medalist and board member of Find the Dream, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
The To Be Determined show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Man, Fast Eddie Lane, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here live every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
This is Danny Cage from the world famous Monster Factory, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
This is the 7-figure deal Ace Rockwell, and as long as Wicked Nemesis isn't on the show, please listen. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
2010, after 2 years of constant bullying, 11-year-old Ty Smalley took his own life. In the past 7 years, more than 55,000 children have taken their own lives due to bullying. That's 22 youth suicides every day. Stand for the Silent is a grassroots organization that educates people about the harsh reality of bullying and the devastation it causes, and they need your help. Visit standforthesilent.org to learn how you can get involved and help us to save lives.
I stand for the silent.
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 I'm Roddy Piper, and we stand for the silent.
Hey, half-heads, it's a 3-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Scrapline Adam Pierce, and just like me, you are locked in Beyond Ringside.
My favorite one, hashtag the party continues. 21 before the top of the hour on this Tuesday night thing. Beyond Ringside Back to Basics live. It's not available for download yet, trust me on this one. If you are listening at 8:39 p.m. Central Time, 9:39 Eastern, 6:39 Pacific, we're live, not pre-recorded. Any other time, this segment is pre-recorded. Or, excuse me, recorded for playback at this time. I'll get it right one of these days. Better yet, I don't have to. I run the show. I pay the bills. Don't give a damn. I'll use whatever phrase I want. Ain't that right, Jack?
Amen.
The Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Lane over here in Studio One, welcoming back in good friend of the family, the Bomber Jack Lord. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Same here, brother. Same here.
Now, this coming Sunday, like I say, we're going to, I know that you've got some great sponsors coming up for it, but I know you've got a brand new one that you really want to mention, right?
Yeah, Dashler High School, the football booster club, they're selling tickets for us, and they're also going to be running a concession stand for us. That's part of their fundraiser efforts, and us trying to give back to the community there and get community involvement by working with the local school systems. We hope every time that we run, we have different schools that will come in and do this for us, so that we can get help out schools all around the area. Of course, we've got a lot of other sponsors that are talking to us, a lot of businesses about doing stuff. So it's, things are looking pretty good for us over there. We just got to produce, and I'm intent on doing that.
Now, how often are you planning on running?
Right now, we're going to be running the Muscie Shoals area once a month. We are looking in the future of expanding out and doing, other cities, other venues. Our biggest thing is we won't run a venue that seats less than 1,500 people.
Right.
The kind of show that we're bringing in, the kind of caliber of talent and everything, it's not cheap. And you can't make money if you run small arenas. So, those things are out. There's very few armories in places like that we're going to be running. So we're going to be selective. We've got about 7 cities statewide that we're looking at. I've been talking to folks up in Tennessee, some over in Georgia, one down in Florida. They're interested in bringing our promotion in and doing some stuff. So, who knows where we're going to be at a year from now. I know where we're going to be at Sunday. I know where it starts. I don't know where it's going, but I feel really good about it.
Dude, I want to wish you all the very best on this one. It looks like it's going to be a great lineup and damn sure going to be a great time at the Northwest-Shoals Community College. Like I said, and you're going to be mean. You're going to sit back and not give us an exclusive or a scoop. I see how it is. We're family, and you're going to do this to me, man.
Well, I'm a natural heel. Remember,
as I've said about myself for many, many years, heel by birthright, babyface by casting. And some would say bad casting sometimes. I would love to find those tapes. That's all. Cospers keeps driving me crazy. I'm talking about the Robert Cosper with our Saturday show. He's still driving me crazy to find videos from the old Southern Wrestling Federation and from All Pro Wrestling, the Milliken Family Show. One of these days, Don and Dave will find the videos from the Birmingham cable show. That's all I can say. Like I said, and I'm looking forward to this. Like I said, I'm looking forward to hearing some great things out of Southern Legacy. And what's funny part about it is we spend a lot of time talking about people like Eric Andrews and Will Owens, Shane Marks, Damian Wayne. And, of course, we did make a reference to, of course, the Cowboy James Storm. Can't forget, Mr. Anderson's going to be on the show. Another tremendous talent.
Yeah, I worked with Ken a few years ago. I helped get him booked on a pretty successful show that ran in Center, Alabama at the college up there.
Right.
And, I had some opportunity that night to sit back in the back and talk to him and get to know him a little bit. And he's just a genuinely good guy. And like me, this is where we hit it off, was he's still a fan of wrestling. He grew up being a fan, even though he's, one of the bigger names in the business. He still remains a fan. He still enjoys watching and being a part of it. And he called me last night. Of course, we had, a little business to talk about, but we wound up talking for probably a half hour longer just about wrestling, how things are going, and I'm really looking forward, because he's one of the guys I'm picking up Saturday. So I'm going to have a good bit of time over the weekend where we can just sit and talk and, catch up, and I'm looking forward to that. I love talking to guys who love this business.
Always a good thing. Always super cool, too. And one person that I really can't overlook in this card, I'm going to sit back and say, a lot of people know him as Tommy Mercer because that's what he's worked at for a number of years. And also, he is very well known as Crimson.
Right.
Now, lo and behold, as far as it goes, start to finish on this one, like I said, great lineup. You've got some great talent, homegrown, nationally known, all the way across the board. I'm going to put you on the spot, Jack. Ooh, would I do something like that? Yeah. It wouldn't be me if I didn't, right? Looking start to finish on what you've made public, what do you consider to be what I like to call the don't blink match of the night so far?
Well, that's going to be hard to pick. I mean, you got to go with your main event being that. But then again, you've got, which the main event is Ken Anderson and Jeremiah Plunkett.
Right.
But, of course, the rest of the matches are all stacked up. A lot of promoters will do this. They'll put on what they know is going to be 2 or 3 good matches and get you some kind of mediocre matches, in there. We don't have that. The only mediocre spot we've got this whole night is intermission.
Good one.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. Once we get everything that I got to get done in the back, I'm going to be sitting out there watching the show too. I'm not going to, be in the back and mingling around and doing whatever. I want to see this. I'm as excited from a fan point of view as for any show that I've ever been to. And I think, honestly, this has probably been putting any show together where, involves having to, get travel done and hotels and getting all this stuff put together. And, there's a lot of headache to it. But at the same time, knowing what's going to happen has just made me feel good this whole time about it. I mean, I'm excited about it. And I haven't really been excited about my end of the business for a long time. I'm working with a promoter who gets it, who understands what wrestling is all about.
Right.
He wants to bring it back to what it's supposed to be, and we're bringing in the very best talent that's available to us. And there's more. I mean, it's not every time we run, it's not going to be the same talent pool. We're expanding that. Some of the guys won't be back, for a few shows while we bring new talent in. It's not going to be the same old show every time. It's going to be something new and bigger and more exciting every time that we come. So, and that makes me work harder and appreciate it more. But like I say, I'm excited about this. I really can't wait.
Like I said, I'm looking forward to hearing some great things. Definitely, please keep us in the loop. Let me know what's going on, and we'll definitely do everything we can over here.
Well, I appreciate it.
Not a problem. One more time, tickets are $15 general admission. Ringside's $20, right?
That's right.
And kids 5 and under, free with adult general admission ticket, right?
That's correct.
From that vantage point, you've already said doors are going to open at 1 o'clock. Go ahead.
Doors open at 1. Bell time is 2.
And one more time, the address is 800 George Wallace Boulevard, Muscie Shoals, Alabama. Now, how can everybody keep track of what's going on, whether it be on social media or through the websites?
It'll be through everything, by golly. You can hit us up at the website, slwwrestling.com. There's 2 Facebook pages, SLW Wrestling and Southern Legacy Wrestling. And, hook me up, Jack Lord on Facebook too. If you're a fan, I'd be happy to talk to you, keep you in the loop. That's what social media is for. And we're trying to get the word out, and it's not that hard. Just jump on it, folks. We want to give you the best product we got.
Now, real quick, also, advance tickets are available from what I'm told and from what I've seen on the website. Extreme Fitness in Killen, Alabama, Dynamic Fitness in Tuscumbia, Alabama, Dynamic Fitness in Decatur, Alabama, Unlimited Fitness in Muscie Shoals, Alabama, and Pegasus Records in Florence, Alabama. Is there any other location that you know about?
Well, just through Dexter School there, they, the sponsors there, they're going to be out in the community pushing the tickets also. But as far as, if you just want to go and buy an advance ticket, any of those locations that you named, of course, if you're looking for a gym membership or a record, it's going to be a great place for any of those.
You got me on that one. Very true. Unfortunately for me, I'm down in Shelby County. The distance would be a little bit much, which really sucks. Yeah, because I've been thrown, the gauntlet has been thrown down to me about losing 30 pounds. Oh boy. It can happen. It can happen. I've got two places I'm looking at as far as gym memberships go. I'm either going to be going to not platinum, not silver, but another precious metal, or I'm going to go ahead and decide to go with another company that would be, it rhymes with Jenny Time Fitness. They're both not far from my front door. They both have good amenities. But I just can't make up my mind. That's the problem. And I've got to get started soon. Not just make my doctor happy, but make my doctor happy. And also make my wardrobe engineer happy too.
We've got 5. I live in Gadsden. We have 5 great gyms around here. Unfortunately, it's hard for me to get past the new Krispy Kreme donuts to get to them, but I'm trying.
I know that the red light comes on. You're done. I'm done. Hot donuts now. I'm done. I see that red light, whether it's solid or blinking, it's like, excuse me, Mr. Lane, do you realize you just cut across 3 rows of traffic and ran a red light? Yeah, the red light came on over here at Krispy Kreme. Be careful leaving and use your damn turn signal. Okay. It's just the way I've always been. I get in trouble more often than not. But Jack, first off, thank you, brother. Always a pleasure. And like I said, looking forward to this coming Sunday.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It really is. And with the matches you've got lined up, like I said, it's going to be rocking from start to finish. Do you want to use the word traditional in front of the term pro wrestling?
That would probably be the most appropriate thing for us, because we're going back to a time where there's actually rules enforced in wrestling. There's no over the top rope. There's no coming off the top rope.
Really?
The referees are legitimately going to be in charge of those matches. You see referees getting run all over nowadays. This doesn't happen with us. Those guys are in charge, and so we're going back to a day when wrestling was wrestling. And that's why we're bringing in the caliber of talent we are. Because we're going to present that to the folks, to the fans, and hopefully they will enjoy what we're bringing.
And SLW is also a proud member of the AIWF, the Allied Independent Wrestling Federations. Great organization that has been constantly building and building and building with the right talent in the right places. And once again, you're going to be featuring the AIWF World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Wayne. Some people have called him the Experience. There's a number of different monikers he's gone by. But right now, you damn sure call him Champ. He's earned it. He's successfully defending it. And he is one of the best for a reason. I will say it like this. We've had the running dialogue, and you and I have had this discussion before, where it all comes down to the factor there are some people who help a belt transcend to go to that level of being a championship rather than a title. And then you also have those who don't need a title because they're that damn good. But by the same token, a lot of people may not know who they are in that particular regard. And like I said, because of the factor of the internet now, things are so much different now. When I say, guess what? Check out YouTube, check out AIWF, check him out on Facebook because he's got video links up there as well. If you have not seen Damian Wayne in action, this guy can go from start to finish and always fun to watch in the ring. Like I said, I've used this phrase before tonight. I'm going to use it all over again. He's got a good head for the business. Bell sounds, he's on it from start to finish.
Yeah, he's just phenomenal. AIWF has had a long history of some really great wrestlers that has held that belt. But Damien, to me, like you alluded to, he's the guy who has made it, to me, a really world title. I mean, I can envision him wrestling anybody in this world successfully defending that belt. I mean, and that's a compliment not only to him but to that belt also, because that, to me, that's the number one belt in the business today. So, you know, he's something. He really is. He's a heck of a guy. He's a heck of a talent, and I think he's only going to get better.
Any parting shots you'd like to leave with everybody, Jack?
We can't cuss, can we? No, I'm sorry.
No. Hashtag hell damn ass.
No, just you know, I hope everybody comes out. You know, we're trying to give fans a show that you can bring your kids to. This is the mentality. The traditional wrestling was never a kid show, but it should always be a show you could bring your kids to. Bring your kids to, and that's what we're trying to bring back. So if you want to bring your family out, you're not going to see and hear things that, you know, those kids shouldn't be a part of. On the other hand, you're going to get some excitement that any adult is going to get into. So you know, looking forward to seeing everybody. You know, come by, see me. I'm the fearsome-looking bald guy, so I may even crack a smile.
That will happen. I've seen Jack do that on more than one occasion. He can smile, and he does quite often. But I won't tell anybody that. Oh, wait, I just did, didn't I? Damn. I hate it when that happens. Jack, now real quick, you mentioned it a minute ago. Mention it again. How can everybody track you down on social?
I'm just simply Jack Lord. Look for the little picture. I'm the bald-headed guy smoking a big cigar.
You were on Twitter for a while.
I'm still on there. I go every 6 months just to make sure that the account hadn't been closed.
And you're still on Instagram, too.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I'm a Facebook junkie. That's all I know.
Yeah, if I can stay on Facebook without playing Bejeweled Blitz, that'd be a beautiful thing. Either that or am I smarter than a fifth grader? Yeah, actually, with the exception of the game that I walked out of last night because it was break time, I just decided, you know something, I am smarter than a fifth grader because I've won like 6 in a row. That's all I need to win. But, Jack, always a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to come on. It's always great to talk to you, brother.
All right, appreciate it, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the bomber, Jack Lord, right here on Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics. Hang with us. Hour 2 kicks off right after this.